go ahead and mute Keejchen here. All right. What's up, everybody? It's Arcane Duels doing the AMDW. I'm Koshade.
And I'm Puddinhead.
And we have this is a semifinals match, actually, between Keejchen and Powlich. And, both players have proven really strong in this tournament. We've seen Keejchen go for a lot of later game builds, and Powlich just sort of showing a lot of versatility. He goes for sort of a mid-range, but we're seeing him go for long in some and short games in others. So, it's always exciting to see what kind of mages, or what kind of game he's going to bring out. And looks like Keejchen's going to be playing the Priestess, which is usually a sign that it's going to be a longer game. And Powlich is playing the Force Master, which right now, Force Master's kind of all over the place. With Mind's Eye and a lot of other stuff like that, we're seeing just a ton of different Force Masters come out, and all of them being pretty potent.
Yeah, it remains to be seen what Powlich is going to run here. I would not be surprised by some Mind's Eye. But, we've had vast successes and abysmal defeats with Mind's Eye this tournament. So,
yeah, it's been interesting because Mind's Eye kind of came about as this tournament was starting, and we're seeing like a meta of that sort of shift where, we're seeing Thought Spores, which looks like a Thought Spore is getting revealed right now, and or like a turn 1 Mind's Eye Curse, things like that, just some crazy stuff with that. But it looks like Powlich's going to be playing the fun way, in my opinion. That is a Thought Spore opening, which can give you all sorts of versatility. And it looks like out of Keejchen, we're seeing the classic Cleric Temple opening. Usually that means he's feeling pretty safe, and I'm guessing when he saw a Thought Spore, he was like, I guess I can do this.
yeah.
With Mind's Eye, that's not the safest play, just because, the Thought Spore could have a fireball in it for all we know, and he could just burn that temple to the ground.
Probably not a fireball.
Probably
given
not.
That's 4 spellbook points.
Yeah, probably not.
Although, if I remember correctly, Keejchen here has about 70 cards in his book, and Powlich only had about 50.
Interesting. Yeah, that's pretty normal for a holy mage to have the 70 area, and
right.
and because of Force Masters, especially Thought Spore ones, you tend to have tons of out of school stuff because you basically have a ton of mage wands out of each Thought Spore. Just weird mage wands.
Yeah, and in case you hadn't figured it out, we are watching from Keejchen's perspective because the footage of the judge, which that's me, was corrupted. So
okay, at least we get this game out.
Yep. And unfortunately, Keejchen has not increased the size of the map for us yet.
Keejchen. Yeah, it's just a little thing. You gotta scroll the mouse wheel up or down, or
right.
There we go. Or control page up. That's also what I do.
Not really.
I think it's page up, or it's plus. It's one of those things.
That's probably plus. Page up puts cards on top of a
Oh,
stack.
that's right. Yeah, if you're ever in a problem where a mage is being like a below an enchantment, just hit that page up button.
Yeah. So I remember seeing this play, this temple on the first turn, and it didn't strike me as all that efficient because usually when I see somebody play a temple, they will play temple a couple turns later so that they can get the cleric value out of it.
Oh yeah, like temple turn 2 or 3, it's not only safer, but you tend to get more stuff out of it. Mana crystal turn 1 is very common, just so you can get that extra mana.
Right. But then this is turn 2, and Keejchen did not put anything on his temple.
Yeah, because he couldn't, because it only had 1 mana on it. But
it's true.
It looks like, oh man, interesting. So we're seeing another Thought Spore come out of the Force Master. That is it's exactly like the kind of build he's looking for. He's looking to do a lot of sort of manipulation. I'm thinking that they're attack spells, but we don't actually know yet because they could be support spells for incantations that'll either help the Force Master get stronger or sort of hinder what the Priestess is going to be doing. Really interesting. We're seeing the crown come out of out of Keejchen, so that makes me think that we're going to see a lot of lower armor stuff. So maybe some Light of Dawns, maybe some Angels, that sort of thing, because that's what you want to use that crown for, typically.
Right.
Doing it on, like, Allendale or Brogan, it's just kind of like a waste of time. And, of course, now that I'm looking at his deck, I see exactly what he's got. So
Yeah, right.
looks like he does have those Light of Dawns. He has Cassiel. Interesting. He has a dragon. The dragon's really strong.
He does have the dragon, so it looks like that he might be planning to use that at some point this turn, this game rather.
Yeah, and he also has that Sunfire Amulet. That's really interesting that he hasn't cast that yet. Usually you want to get that up early, start getting the life. But of course with Priestess you're already going to have an insane amount of life usually. And if we look at Keejchen, he's at 22 mana.
He might be saving up for that dragon.
Yeah, he has options in this. And I didn't see what that was, but regardless, we're going to go in deployment. We're about to find out. The dragon will be a good choice because he does have a cleric out.
He skips deployment, though.
Oh, he skipped it. Interesting. So he's still playing cautious. He just wants to make sure that. I'm guessing he's thinking he's about to take some aggression. Powlich said 19 mana, so he can do a ton of stuff.
He decided not to quick cast.
And that's a very interesting sign right there. I'm wondering if Keaton's a little bit nervous there. Deciding to do something, going back on it, that sort of thing. And it looks like we have a spell on the Thought Sword. That could be a ton of stuff. It could be something as simple as a Brace Yourself or, Glancing Blow. But it could be offensive based like a Hawkeye. Usually you see defensive or Hawkeye just because of how Thought Swords work. I know I've seen Harmonize before, but I don't think that's a Harmonize. No, just because we saw the pants last round.
Harmonize on the temple?
Oh no, I meant Harmonize in those Thought Spores.
Oh no, it's going to be a defensive spell for sure.
I could see defensive. That's usually what we see. As I said, like Hawkeye, sometimes you see, but it's pretty expensive to put Hawkeye in one of them. Just because of the spell points and it makes him a bigger target. Armor 1 going on the Cleric. That's interesting. Usually you don't see people go after Clerics unless you have a dragon.
So it looks like he's advancing here, which is really interesting.
I'm guessing he's trying to tank, basically. Say like, hey, attack my mage so that you don't attack my my wheelhouse of gaining mana and creatures. With a priestess you can't tank effectively.
That's not Keejchen's style, though.
I would agree with that. And it looks like we're going to see the Thought Spore advance. This could be dangerous for Keejchen. We might see something go down without any armor. That can be pretty killer. The Force Push goes down. Interesting that he chose Force Push. And he's going to push him to the right, putting him in range of the other Thought Spore. Okay. So he wants to put him in range of the Force Master, but now he's sort of like trapped. Oh, we're going to see the double move on the... Ooh, that's going to be dangerous.
It's getting closer to that temple there.
Yeah, and the priestess being slightly out of position there, that's sort of like manipulating what's about to happen, I think. Man, I love Thought Spore Force Master. It's such a cool game there. Alright, so Force Push is going to be on that Thought Spore, and that's it. You can't have another spell on it, so... you can get some damage out of it, but I'm curious to see what kind of manipulation we'll see with those pushes.
Force Push is a really useful spell, though.
Absolutely.
I started playing this game with a Force Master, and I cannot have a deck that does not have a Force Push, or sometimes even two in it.
Oh, no, I'm the same way.
It's so good.
Yeah, and especially with the Force Master, having that double strike weapon, the ability just to say like, all right, get it back in my zone. Or get it close, and then I'll force pull it, and then double strike is very useful.
Right.
And that's actually a pretty dangerous spot for Keejchen to be in. We did see that Divine Protection go on him, so... if he had to deal with the double strike, at least he's getting rid of 2 dice. But we don't see any armor yet on Keejchen's mage, so ooh. Yeah, we're seeing Keejchen look through his creatures. I think he's having one of those dilemmas of, alright, I'm in a little bit of danger. What do I bring out?
So he puts a Dawnbreaker's Initiate on the temple, and he's got Althea in his hand.
Yeah, and he's at 28 mana, so he's going to be able to do a ton. Althea summoning in his zone actually wouldn't be terrible.
Well, yeah, because his Ethereal Cleric can activate it right away.
Yeah, there's no summoning sickness, exactly. Summoning sickness, whatever it's called.
Copyrighted terms and all that sort of thing.
Dawnbreaker's Initiate gets the cast, and that's an interesting spell. I have, I believe in the previous review, really shown my dislike for that card, but whenever I see it out, I always want to see it, given a chance. It does have a 3 dice attack, so that is useful.
Yeah, and I mean that Dawnbreaker's Initiate can pull his priestess out of danger, out of even more danger, rather, and can pull Althea into the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's a bad choice in a book like this.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Getting more clerics out there just to make sure Althea can get summoned is always nice. Okay. And there's some decisions here going on.
Yeah, a little bit of thinking.
And so the enchantment goes down on the priestess. That could be a rust. It could be like a poison blood. It could also just be a mark for death, because you never know what kind of dice we're about to see come out.
Ooh, but he words it, so it's probably something expensive.
Yeah, that could be a ton of stuff then. What would you want to ward on the priestess? Like, I think it would be level 2 or higher, most likely. So, like,
probably.
Gurat seems like a weird choice.
Down goes Althea.
Alright, and looks like Keejchen has played his card. And he's immediately going to put the armor on it. That is really smart. Putting him up to 4 armor. I actually really dig that. Just because Althea is going to be, it looks like, his main source of damage. He doesn't really have a lot of other cards that, dish out the dice. So Althea having that is neat. Of course, with the Force Master, he might be able to deal with it better. I mean, he doesn't really have reach, but,
Yeah, it's going to be hard for him to deal with Althea. Just because of the flying.
Yeah, he's going to need some sort of maim wings, or knockdown is, of course, in school, which is a solid way to deal with flyers. But, 4 armor creature, that's not easy to take out with just a knockdown and another attack. This Thoughts War is getting out of town.
Yep, doesn't want to get hit by Althea. Keejchen opts to activate Althea.
Alright, that's a good trade, meaning he won't have a mana on that temple, which of course means he won't be casting anything next round. Looks like this Thought Spore is going to move to the left. Are we going to see an attack spell?
I just don't think he would need another utility spell. Oh, there it is.
Yep, there it is. It's going to be a Acid Ball. Alright. Acid Ball is an interesting choice on a Thought Spore. And it's actually going to be a pretty good bet against Althea.
Well, Priestess can remove corrodes, though.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, Althea's pretty
Charging the
tough.
dragon into
Yeah.
the zone with the Force Master.
Althea is pretty tough. That's just the truth of it.
But, I mean, Powlich still has 18 mana, and Keejchen has 2, but the board position is such that Keejchen is a significant advantage right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, Powlich still has some pretty big plays to do, going up to 29 mana after channel. And of course the extra 2 because of the Thought Spores. That means he definitely has some plays here. And does he have the cards and the ability to deal with Althea is the big question here.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, that's... Althea's one of those cards that if you haven't actually played against, this board would just look really scary. Because it's just like... It's scarier than a Dromelic in my opinion. Because a Dromelic I feel like goes down pretty quickly, but... with the Holy School being what it is, Althea is very easy to heal, to gain the armor as we're seeing, to give all sorts of cool buffs to make sure that it stays alive.
Yeah, and the ability on it is really dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. It has the ability to deal with 5 dice, but I believe if it dazes even, it's like any light attack, you get that direct damage. So you can sort of just eke out a ton of damage very quickly.
Yeah, Acid Ball is not a whole lot of dice. Powlich needs to get a little bit more dice out there.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about an Acid Ball and a Thought Spore, is it feels good in the beginning of the game, but then you kind of realize, like, oh, this actually isn't going to help me mid to late game. It's just going to kind of sit there, like, pinging you for chipping damage. And you're spending a lot of mana to do that.
It's true. I mean, if you got nothing else to spend your mana on, then it's fine.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, the damage is solid. And that's the thing about it. I mean, it of course helps your Force Master a ton, just because it allows them to soften up their armor, just so you can sort of rip into them with Galvatar or something like that. Alright. We saw the enchantment Althea.
It's a shame we already know what it is.
Yeah. But does Powlich... Is he going to take the bait?
Well, all he has to do is move 2. Then he won't get hit by Althea this turn. Because they don't hinder each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. He has to spend his Cleric's actions, so you kind of always get the advantage of staying out of the way of the dragon. Just because he doesn't reset. Yeah, so the big question is, can he, or should he kill the Clerics, or should he go after the dragon?
Well, see, if there are no more Clerics, then the dragon is useless.
Yeah, he just sits there. He still gets his like little pinging damage, but with a force pull on a Force Master and a force push on a Thought Spore, you have all sorts of options just to get out of that zone.
I think I would kill the Clerics if it were me.
Yeah, that's usually a pretty safe bet.
You don't know how many there are.
Yeah, that's true.
And you don't necessarily know where they're going to show up. But you got Thought Spores. You can find them. You got position tools. You can get them to you. You can knock them out. All right, so he moves 2 and then Force Hammers with his quick
He wants
cast.
to take out that temple. Rolling 8 dice, getting 9 damage, inflicting a total of 8. That is never fun as a holy mage to have to deal with. Man, every time you get a die that even rolls like 1 damage higher against your spawn point as a holy mage, you're just like, no. Like, I'm going to lose this because of that.
Well, it's almost guaranteed with the acid ball to kill that this turn.
He just needs to get 3 damage, and that's pretty much it.
No, he only needs 1. He only needs 1 crit or 2 corrode.
Yeah.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
Or 2 normal damage.
Does it have 9? Oh,
it only has 9 health.
Oh, I thought it had 10. Yeah, so that acid ball is actually going to pay off right here. And again, that's why acid ball is nice. Is it does that chipping damage? It allows you to sort of like get through other stuff.
Alright, so Keejchen puts a face down card on the Falcon Precision.
Yep.
Which we know right now is Decoy.
Interesting that he chose Decoy. I probably would never do that, but Keejchen playing the trickster here. And the reason why I would never do that is probably because I think Arcane Ward is probably just better in pretty much all the cases.
Unless you need 2 mana later on.
Yeah, if you need 2 mana, I guess. I mean, with Seeking Dispel, it sort of evens out. But yeah, that 2 mana is really where you do it. Which, I mean, for a Priestess, I guess we'll see. But in terms of spellbook points, they both cost the same, so that's not even a factor.
Yeah, Keejchen is going through exactly what is in my head right now.
Yeah.
Shoot the temple with the acid spore.
Yeah, it's best to predict it and just move on. And he did already pray at that temple, it looks like. Oh no, he didn't cast this run. Never mind.
Alright, Powlich just moves his thought spore out of the way.
Saving a little bit of mana. That's a pretty smart choice, I think. Yeah, we're going to see. He's going to attempt to get some damage or drain some mana out with the Scepter.
Now, I'm curious here. Why isn't Powlich dodging this?
Huh. Does he have the mana planned out?
Maybe, but, I mean, why take a hit if you don't have to?
Yeah, and the Pantsicor is deflecting 1 damage, but get 3 going through is pretty brutal. Especially
3 out of 3 dice.
Just a little dude.
He double moves with the thought spore?
What? He really doesn't want to stay in one zone.
Oh, man.
I don't think that was a good move from Powlich. I'm really curious why he did that.
Well, I mean, anything can come out of that temple now.
Yeah, absolutely. And since it's... Well, I mean, you have a quick cast to take down the temple, but... you see a Guardian Angel come out of there and you don't kill it during first quick cast, and suddenly you have an intercept creature.
Yeah, I mean, I think Keejchen is just... That's lost now. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, he might as well summon something from it, though.
Yeah.
Like if he gets that chance,
Definitely should.
I think that was a mistake on Powlich. I'm really curious why he chose not to just shoot it. Unless he has something very specific for his mana right now.
So, I mean, he's got... Do you see that he's got Force Crush on him now, right? The spell that was on the Priestess is Force Crush.
Yeah. So, I mean, there is upkeep there and damage going on.
So it'll cost him 4 every turn to upkeep that Force Crush.
I mean, that's direct damage. It does pay off over time, but... I mean, I'm really curious to see how the healing works with that, because you're obviously not getting a good trade if he just minor heals and...
Right.
You spent 8 mana to do 4 damage versus 5 mana to heal it all. Yeah, Keejchen's got some choices here. If I were him, I'd probably start just summoning more Clerics, just to make sure that he always has more on the field. Honestly, I'm not sure if I'd deal with that Force Crush. It seems like a...
it's not doing much right now.
Yeah, it's costing a ton of mana.
what actually, I guess, what it is doing is it's keeping his priestess away from the fight.
That's true.
So if Powlich is worried about a dissolve or a dispel on something, if he can pull the fight to 3 zones away from the priestess cannot affect the fight. But I mean, that's a really steep cost for that. 4 mana a turn.
Yeah, I almost want to say, like, just cast Sunfire Amulet to help mitigate some of that, and then just, summon clerics and stuff, and just build a little army around you to support Althea.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of Shark's game versus Mambo. Shark spent a long time in that game Tanglebind.
Yeah, because he just kind of didn't care,
Right. I mean, he didn't need to go and do stuff. He had other things that he could do other than hit that Tanglebind.
Mm-hmm.
And he played a really good support Allendale game and ended up pulling it out.
Yeah, that game was crazy. Oh man, some of those games with the Paladin in the earlier stages were just nuts to watch. Yeah, and Keejchen's having some trouble deciding what exactly he wants to do. I don't blame him for choosing Healing Charm.
Well, especially if he's got Ring of Asira out.
Yeah,
I mean, he's gonna
gain
pay
a life.
less mana. It's gonna be 4 for 4.
Yeah, he gains a life, he heals some. It's all good, just good choices.
Yeah, it's even better if you can get Castiel to cast it for you. But
oh yeah, absolutely. And Hannah Bim will help mitigate the 2 damage every run. Yeah, this is just setting it up for Powlich to be in a bad place. Granted, I mean, that's just like dealing with Priestess. Like, I think he can deal with those clerics, and suddenly Keejchen's just going to be like out on the water dead.
Yeah, he's got to kill the clerics though.
Yeah, though that is problematic. True.
And I think it was a mistake to not kill the temple, because now another cleric can just come out.
Mm-hmm. It's another action for Althea, which that can equal a ton of damage.
So.
And I mean, I'd like to see Light of Dawn come out, because that would be an extra light damage source that can get you extra damage off of Althea.
You might not want a Light of Dawn right now because it's right next to you Temple Sentry. All right.
Nice, and that's going to come in with a guard on it. So that means that he's not going to be able to just walk in and punch it, which I mean, the free mana investment is a smart choice for Keejchen there. It's just like, all right, you want to take it, pay for it. Unless he chooses to hit it with his Thought Spore.
He can't. It's guarded.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you mean do the sentry?
Yeah.
I wouldn't attack the sentry with the Thought Spore.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I'd probably back up one and Acid Ball so that Althea can't kill me.
Yep. I totally agree with you there.
That's probably what I would do.
Yeah, he's playing those Thought Spores pretty dangerously. Like, getting just in their face is not always a good idea, and especially since Keejchen, with being a priestess and all, has access to plenty of flyers.
We only see one.
That's true.
But there's a guardian angel in the book. There's a messenger in the book.
Yeah, messengers can mess up some Thought Spores, and
especially if they have Althea's little extra damage when they do it. No, there's no condition on.
Oh, you're right. It's
the
just,
messenger.
It's non-living +2.
Yeah, so they don't mess anything up really.
All right, does look like he's gonna back up, and he's just gonna choose to shoot that temple. I do think he should have done the last round, but it probably won't affect the game, just because we saw a Temple Sentry, which, oh wow, he does get the corrode damage on, and he does get the damage because of 2 corrodes.
Yeah. So
just barely eking it out, but that's why you do Acid Ball. You sort of get that guaranteed 2 corrodes.
Right. I don't know. An extra action on the board for Keejchen is not very good right now.
Yeah.
And he got the action immediately because he summoned a guarding creature.
Not sure if it's worth killing it. Oh, Powlich, I totally think it was worth killing that. Of course, I think he's thinking about just the dragon, not dealing with that.
I think what he needs to do is he needs to go in there and he needs to kill one of the He needs to kill a cleric, basically.
Yep. I totally agree with you on that.
Now, he does have the ability, he has the mana right now to summon Galvatar, force push a cleric into the Galvatar, and double strike. Now, he's going to have, he can dodge Althea also. He has enough mana to do that. So if it were me in this situation, I would definitely dodge Althea and plan to use my force push spore to get a cleric into range with the Galvatar. But I have no idea what Powlich has prepared.
Yeah, I mean, there is the other cleric also in the zone that does 3 dice, but I see what you're saying. He's going to back up, actually. Now, why do you want to back up? Looks like he's trying to... Ooh, that's dangerous. That could be a ton of stuff. As Keejchen...
If it was a reverse attack, that would be cool, but he's got Falcon Precision on him.
So Keejchen has no reason to fear that.
Right.
Which would be really unfortunate for Powlich.
Brace yourself even would be good.
Mm-hmm. To do Healing Charm or not?
Puts Healing Charm on the dragon. Interesting.
I think because he's Force Crushed, he just wants to support Althea as much as possible. I guess Powlich moving down is sort of like an indicator of saying, like, are you going to follow me away from your mage? Of course, Keejchen does have Divine Intervention, so...
Yeah, he could go wherever he wants to eventually.
Just go to one of the center spots and you pretty much have the board. Alright, moving in this zone. And he just wants to call out he's going to attack, just to make sure if there's any cards that need to be revealed. Force Field would probably be best right here. If I kill the Initiative Clear with a Wall Bash, can he teleport? The big question. So we're going to see a Force Field here, because that's what I would probably use.
He could reveal it if you wanted to.
It's going to be a lot of upkeep. That's the only downside about doing this. And he does reveal the Falcon Precision just to say you're not going to use a defense.
And he gets the stun.
Nothing gets revealed. The stun going down. That's pretty brutal to see. And looks like Powlich's going to set his damage counter to 10.
Yep, because of the extra damage for getting a condition.
Yep, that is pretty brutal. Holy cow. Going up to 10 damage out of 32. That's starting to get in that dangerous range where, you know, just a few attack spells and you just kind of die.
Well, he's not in range of any attack spells, so he's pretty much okay right now.
True that. But yeah, he's got like an Academy Mage worth of health left.
Oh, and he's gonna Sight Orb. Interesting.
Going for the economy play here. That makes me think that he has a force field, maybe. And it looks like he's just like hovering over that card, like, what is this? And thoughts were moving up one. Nope, moving to the right one.
No, he's gonna move up and he's gonna force push Althea south.
Ooh. Interesting that he wants to group up like that.
Well, he's keeping Althea away from the spores, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Keejchen's getting his cleric out of dodge.
Yeah, getting his cleric home was really nice. The praying to Althea is limitless range-wise, so you just have to have line of sight, I think. I don't even think you need that. And you're pretty much good.
Yep, he needs to keep those clerics alive.
Alright, looks like we're moving on to the next phase here. The upkeep is paid. It's going to put Keejchen up to 3 damage.
Yep. But I mean, still, he's paid the upkeep twice, and he only has 3 damage on him. You know. I just.
Yeah, Hand of Bimshaw just kind of makes Force Crush feel awful. You know, like typically you want to spend, 1 mana for 1 damage. That's about average. If you can get higher than that, then that's awesome. If you get lower than that, it starts to feel a little icky. Which I think that's kind of what we're seeing here. That's right. I said icky. The Faith Healer Staff is actually a really interesting choice for Keejchen. I actually really like that weapon a lot. You just get a free dice of heal. I mean, you spend 1 mana, but the action is free. So it's sort of like it's just like a good way to just keep your life from dying, or something else's life from dying.
You have a pocket Assyrian Cleric.
Nice. Yeah, essentially. But I mean, especially like if you guys ever play Academy, oh man, Faith Healer Staff is just annoying for your opponent to deal with.
Yeah, and Keejchen, in Keejchen's position here, I think I would play a Light of Dawn this turn. He prepared that, didn't he?
I didn't actually see, but
because he's got 16 mana. That leaves you with enough mana to deal with stuff if you need to.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like more creatures, just sort of to
just plan to Light of Dawn and give it an armor this turn.
And Powlich's Mage still being stunned, of course. Sunfire Amulet, interesting choice. That's going to be a big problem for Powlich, just because he can't move out of Althea's range now. Yep,
he does.
Sunfire. Yep.
Nice.
Alright, it is Keejchen's action.
He's choosing which cleric to use, I think.
Well, I mean, with the Force Master being stunned, that gives him a chance to deal a little bit more damage without having to worry about a defense. Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Honestly, I wouldn't care if he wanted to acid ball my cleric to death. That would just be like silly.
Well, he's in an interesting situation right now because if he kills the Dawnbreaker's Initiate, the Priestess comes back.
That's true.
So the Dawnbreaker's Initiate is something that Powlich does not want to kill and can just get free damage in.
Getting an extra 2 damage off of that. Solid roll there. And that little bit of damage is just, eating it up. And Althea being able to lay down 7 damage around is a ton.
Yeah.
Powlich has to figure something out, otherwise he's doomed.
Yeah, and he's only channeling 7 each turn, or he's got 11 channels, so he's only channeling about 8 each turn because of that upkeep.
And of course, Thought Spores are getting a little bit, but looks like he's gonna just move in and just try to attack the. Oh no, that's.
I am of the opinion that's always a bad idea because Thought Spores never roll damage.
Yeah, it's worse than a cleric. But I mean, also he's moving within range of Althea, and Althea might just look at that and say I'll just take it out. Although I think going after Powlich's Mage right now is probably the better choice.
Well, Althea wasn't active.
Yeah.
So he could, if he had a plan to deal with Althea this turn. Looks like he's got something going down.
Yeah. And of course, Althea is psychic immune, so we know it's not going to be mind control.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Dragon's minds are too strong.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah,
it would cost you 16 mana to reveal it, and then it would be upkeep 8.
It would be insane. And then it wouldn't do anything because you can't pray to it.
Right. You have no clerics.
It's mind control something else, but you can't. Ugh. It looks like Force Crush does get revealed, so that's gonna put Althea on the ground. Really interesting choice there to just sort of ground Althea, and now that's going to open it up for Powlich to either just hit that dragon hard or go after that priestess. I'm actually really liking the aggression on both sides. Both of them are actively trying to actually kill each other here. Yeah, so the Force Crush got revealed, so he had an action to do, so he just chose the guard, which I think the guard is just going to stay there until...
Yep.
Yeah, until he activates again, so that's actually a really smart move. Oh my. And we're seeing the singing tentacle come out. Oh no, 2 damage!
Well, he's got 2 damage.
Yeah, and that's gotta be a terrifying sight, just like someone's brain thoughts flying at you with a sharpened needle.
I don't know if he really wants to kill that guy, though.
Right? He just wants to damage him a lot. Oh man. You know, a lot of holy mages have been taking less dispels, less disperses, just because they have remove curse and purify, and force crush is kind of like that. All right, you took less dispels, now I have all these spells that you can't deal with.
All right, Light of Dawn and Sunfire Amulet coming out.
That's smart. You know, if he can't get to that dragon, he might as well have his own little army on the other side. And Keejchen's down to 1 mana. And Powlich's going to go down to 7. And, 2 enchantments. That could be a ton of stuff. It could be something like Critical Strike, Bear Strength. It could be a Cure's Favor, things like that. Or it could be defensive, Yeah, probably one of the best things he could do is... with the Force Master here is attack Althea with a Force Field. Just so that you are guaranteed to block that damage coming back.
Yeah, Force Field, I don't think I would Force Field at this point.
Just because of the upkeep?
No, upkeep is fine. It's just that it's going to go away. Okay. There's too many creatures that can attack you.
That is fair.
You need
if he's
to kill
singing tentacles enough, he'll only have to deal with one on that side.
Light of Dawn has a ranged attack. You really need to kill it.
That's very true. Yeah, Light of Dawn just kind of sneaks up on you.
Yeah, what I would do in this situation, I think, is I'd equip my sword and stay put this turn. And then get ready to dice some stuff next turn.
So you go after the clerics then?
I think so.
I mean, Althea is kind of useless and just taking damage down there, so I think that does make some sense.
Well, Althea will eventually die to the Force Crush.
Yeah, and he's got to put 2 damage in. There it goes. Powlich being like, hey, do this. Yeah, and you're absolutely right about that.
And Althea's guarding right now, which means you're going to take a counter-strike that is Falcon Precisioned.
Yeah, so you want Force Field, otherwise don't do it at all. Otherwise, it's just a ton of damage.
Right. And he can't really afford to take damage this turn.
Yeah.
I mean, putting a Regrowth on this turn would be a good choice.
Just start healing that spell, or that stuff.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you on that.
But you can't get a sword out if you're going to put on Regrowth this turn. And therein lies the problem with paying 6 upkeep every turn.
He could Regrowth, punch, and then sting that cleric to death. Although, I don't know if you want to sting, because... something's going to get teleported.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be the priestess.
I could see the priestess. And then all the other creatures just crowd around, and suddenly you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Forever, in theory. Wow.
And I think the Keejchen is doing a smart thing here, and it's just like, okay, I'm just going to cast more creatures.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing a lot of things I disagree with Keejchen here. I mean, he's at 11 mana, so I'm not sure what he should cast this round.
Because that's what kills the Force Master, is too many creatures. Force Field doesn't work anymore. You just can't kill them fast enough, and you might be able to do enough damage on the way to your creatures dying that you can finish her off with an attack spell.
Absolutely.
So I think Powlich really needs to put on some regen and maybe even some armor this turn.
Yeah, going up to 2 or 3 armor. That sounds like a good bet. Probably 2.
Yeah, I mean, some leather boots and some regen
Yeah.
would be just fine. I mean, Keejchen has the heal the charm on Althea right now, so if anything does happen this turn, he can just say, actually, I heal 4 dice.
Yeah, that'll be really nice. And he'll gain a life, of course, on his mage. But, yeah, no, this is a tough choice. It's kind of in Powlich's hands which direction this game is going to go. And I think that's why we see Keejchen kind of taking his time to decide on cards, because it's hard to predict exactly what it's going to do, and if he chooses to go either way, you kind of want different planning.
Depending on what's on the Force Master right now, I mean, he could force pull the Temple Sentry, run in there and punch it with a Bear Strength for 5 dice, and it could just be gone.
Yeah, that would be totally legit on that.
And he'll only have spent 4 mana this turn, which means that he'll have another. He'll have 13 the next turn, and that'll allow him to play Galvatar and also reveal something or whatever.
Absolutely. Alright, moving on to creature actions here. It looks like Keejchen's going to move a melee 1 to the Dawnbreaker Initiative. Or off of it, I should say.
Yeah, he just didn't reset that during the upkeep.
Alright, he's putting it back. Okay, so he's just going to keep hitting that Force Master. I don't blame him. Looks like he really does.
He's got 4 dice.
I mean, you get a ton of dice out of that, and if you're making him spend a mana to dodge this, that's still pretty good. It's kind of free damage.
I just don't understand.
He doesn't dodge. Wow.
I don't understand why he doesn't dodge. There's nothing else that can hit him. There's nothing else.
Man, Powlich going up to 15 damage. Holy cow. Yeah, I think he should have dodged.
I mean, sure, it's a slightly better than 50% chance, but still, you have that chance.
1 mana for trading on 4 dice is a good trade if you succeed.
Yeah. And I think that's 3 attacks that he didn't dodge this game so far.
And there's Aaron coming out. And Aaron, interesting choice at this late stage of the game, just because he's a really good guy in the beginning, but I guess since we're kind of seeing Keejchen reset at the other corner, he's sort of getting those creatures out that'll, be big beaters as soon as the engagement happens. With the Assyrian Cleric out, you do get some damage, or you can heal a little bit. I'm kind of surprised he used that Temple of Bim. I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to use to heal.
He's trying to get damage out on the Force Master. That's
I guess you're right. I guess Aaron would just, at the very least, be a good meat shield, even if you don't get the dice. $10 damage. Alright, we're going to see the Acid Ball Force Master, or Thought Spore go to the right. So what is he going to attack? Because I think he should attack something.
I don't know if he should. If he's probably saving his mana.
Okay, that's fair. I guess there's no real prime target. Maybe the Light of Dawn, but I don't really like that either.
See, I don't know why he would move that Thought Spore over there. I'll be honest, because it's his initiative right now, and that means that if the Light of Dawn moves down or over,
that's a good point.
On the first initiative, that Thought Spore is going to take a ton of damage.
Yeah, and if it gets stunned, that's even worse.
Yep.
And it looks like that Assyrian Cleric's going in. He's just like, I'll heal you too, man. Pray to the Asira.
Yep. Getting that ever closer to those +4 melee tokens.
Yeah, right? Yeah, Aaron's a beast once you heal him, and especially if you don't spend any mana healing him. Oh, it's so nice. And we're seeing the Force Push go down. Interesting, the Assyrian Cleric. Now, why would he do that?
Because it can't move away, and the Force Master can go and hit it.
It's already used its action. That's a good point. I suppose if I were Keejchen, I'd just move to the left with the Temple Sentry and Guard.
Yeah, probably. But, I mean, Force Master could force pull whatever he wants.
True, that's very true.
And just hit the thing that he wants to hit, or she wants to hit.
Yep, and that's exactly what's happening. Is Temple Sentry going to the left and guarding. Let's see what Powlich does here. We're seeing another enchant. Oh no, the Gavatar. Very nice. Okay, so the big weapon has come out now. So he just has to slice and dice stuff. He's going to move up.
He's going to hit the Temple Sentry.
Yep, unless he has something elusive, which he doesn't, it looks like. So
he has 0 mana.
Yeah, so he gets a piercing too. So he has basically 1 armor. And he's going to deal...
Only 3 damage. Only 2 damage.
He inflicted 3.
That's because it doesn't give the armor to the Temple Sentry. It doesn't
so it should have been 2. But
so yeah, it'll figure it out.
Yep. And of course, Force Master's taking another damage, putting Powlich at 50% life. I always find it interesting watching other players how they like manipulate the board. They like zooming in and stuff.
Sometimes it's hard to see those tokens.
Yeah, it depends what kind of monitor you have. You know, I just like blind myself with this big monitor.
Double move from the Cleric. Light of Dawn.
Or not.
No, maybe not. No, he's going to armor it first.
That makes sense. I don't know if I would double move in this case. I might just move down 1. Like, your forces are...
This way, if the quick cast Force Pull moves that Thought Spore, you can still hit it.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I would probably go for the Acid Ball personally, but, Force Push has its uses. Just a couple.
I mean, yeah, the Light of Dawn should be able to hit something.
Yeah.
In that position.
At least he has 2 targets, though, which I can see that. If something comes up.
And, I mean, there's a decent condition chance on the Light of Dawn, so it could be 2 extra damage there.
Absolutely.
And that is why just controlling Althea in the corner is not always very optimal. Because Althea has an effect on the entire battlefield no matter where she is.
Yeah. Yeah, Althea seems to be kind of struggling down there. Is he going to Mars Restoration? Interesting choice. I don't think that's bad.
Depends on if he needs the mana this turn for something.
Yeah, like it's a spell point and 1 mana, so it's really not that much to give.
He could Messenger this turn.
I would actually like
get another creature and get Aaron all healed up.
I would actually dig that a ton. I'm a big fan of the Messenger.
Yes, you are.
Alright. Things are taking 2 damage. It's going to put Keejchen up to 7. And Althea up to 4. Of course, Althea has that healing charm, so Keejchen's not afraid.
Yeah, at this point, though, if he martyrs Restorations this turn, he's up at 12 damage, which is...
Ooh, that's a good point.
I don't think he should martyrs this turn. He should do something else.
Yeah, I actually don't really know if anyone really has the advantage in this game right now. I feel like everyone has their strengths in this fight, so this is kind of just a cool game of Mage Wars right now.
It is interesting the method that Powlich has chosen to deal with stuff on the board.
Yeah.
It's very different from, say, when we saw Grimbart run a Force Master or Sailor run a Force Master.
Yeah, like we're seeing these Thought Spores get in the face of these guys, which
and the Force Crush is doing the work of keeping things separated.
That's actually a really interesting point there, because we saw in the last game Powlich was using Ghoul Rots to just sort of passively kill stuff, and it worked. That's the thing. He was the Araxian Crown, and he kept getting those Ghoul Rots back and just kept laying them down.
Yeah, that Selenia Force Master is not have curse weaving though.
Yeah.
So,
So we're seeing the better targets, obviously, like against Althea. Um, that's the kind of thing you want to use Force Crush on. But I mean, it's just an interesting style that I'm seeing out of Powlich with this passive damage over time while hitting soft targets. Like, it's a really cool manipulation of the field that we're seeing.
yeah, I just wish he had used his dodge a few times.
I gotta agree with you there. I mean, Powlich is at 5 mana, but I'm curious if that's why he's not doing it.
And there's a complete dodge. Nice.
Oh, it's a minor creature, so the dodge does work. Very smart from Powlich to choose dodge there. And yeah, it just goes through. That's kind of why I love dodge. If you have a minor creature and there's something guarding, just put the dodge on him, have him go attack. Boom. Suddenly they're just going to automatically get through it. And it's a nice way to get rid of those big guards. Dodge. Such a cool card.
It is, and anybody can take it.
Yeah.
Novice, one spellbook point for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Double strike on a Temple Sentry?
Interesting choice. I probably would have chosen the sweeping. Nope, he's going to cancel. He's like, I don't want to do this.
Ha, he meant to sweep. Nice.
Okay, so he's going to sweep. He doesn't have any melee plus bonuses, but or piercing for that matter. But, it's only 1 armor and 2 armor on the other guy, but he gets 2 damage, not enough to kill that guy.
Not enough.
So he's just going to get some general damage to both. Unless he rolls really well here, he's not going to kill that Cleric. Of course, he could just roll 4 damage. Not enough to kill it still, but... I'm sorry, 6 damage out of 4 dice. But, he's brought him down to pretty much dead on both accounts.
Yeah, but pretty much dead is not dead, especially when it's a Holy Mage.
Very true. And they're going to want to do that extra bit of damage to that Force Master. And with Powlich not dodging, that's going to just be damage on the board.
Alright, he's going to move over and guard.
Retreating. Huh. Now, why do you want to retreat with that guy?
He's in range of a couple of Thought Spores. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if the 2 damage is better there, but probably not.
Or maybe he wants to see if he can get a heal off on one of them next turn.
And the Cleric's going to retreat too. Huh. So that would have been 4 dice extra on Powlich. So that would have put Powlich up to like 18. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but that's probably like chipping.
Is there 3 mana on that Acid Ball Spore right now?
Yeah, it hasn't been using its stuff. Okay, so we're going to see a Healing Cleric. Messenger of Bin. And it's going to get 5 out of 4 dice. That's put Aaron's up to 0 damage. And that sweet, sweet melee token.
And then he's going to use... He's going to keep his Cleric of Asir alive, huh? Okay.
He wants his Clerics around, I guess.
Makes sense. I mean, you're using the dragon that uses the Clerics. Temple Sentry is just a stall tactic anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, pretty much every time I've used it, it's been like, I'm under fire. Temple Sentry. Fire being melee, that is. No.
I'm on fire. I'll cast this guy.
Alright.
Gets those melee tokens on there. And 1 more Thought Spore to do.
Alright. And he's going to Acid Ball, actually. Yep, wait.
He's going in there and he's going to tentacle that thing?
He's going to tentacle it. For nothing.
Oh, man.
I don't agree with that at all. Like, I see that Powlich wants to save mana. Because he only has 5 left, he has all these upkeep. But, I don't know, I feel like he should be trying to kill something.
He needs to get the creatures down so that he can force field.
Yeah.
If if he can force field, so if he gets the creatures down right, then he force fields, and then he stands toe to toe with Althea and just kills Althea.
The other stinging tentacle sees its ally is like, I can copy that and roll 0 damage again. That is just so unfortunate for Powlich. And yeah, it's just gonna move in and be like, alright, well, 3 dice to your face. And this time, is Powlich gonna dodge?
I don't think so.
I mean, he has 1 armor, so technically he should take 2 damage. He's not going to dodge, and he takes 2 damage. Oh, man.
I mean, when you're at half health, it just seems like a really good idea to start dodging things.
Yeah, and, geez, 18 out of 32 now for Powlich. And Aaron right next door, ready to deal a bunch of damage. This is not looking good for Powlich. He's going to have to pull something out of his head if he's going to start dealing with this.
Let me see the Basilica go down.
Yeah, I would feel pretty good if I were Keejchen right now.
Yeah, Keejchen's in a very in control state at this point.
I mean, he's getting a creature return for the last few turns, and now he has Malachi's Basilica down. It seems like his patience is paying off, and he's just gonna kind of sweep the board soon. And of course, Powlich has all these enchantments on him. Probably why he wants to save up mana, because he's gonna start revealing that stuff, and they could be super deadly.
Yeah, it just seems like Powlich is running into a lot of mana issues, and those 2 Force Crushes, man, they're just...
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they might be keeping him in the game. This game would look a lot different, I know, if that Althea wasn't crushed. I guess a Mind Control on Aaron would be a good choice. It would combo with the Psy Orb. More upkeep, but...
It'd only be 2 upkeep.
Yeah, which isn't
because
bad.
of the Psy Orb. I would put on a Dancing Scimitar at this point, I think.
Oh, dancing. Yeah, that's another upkeep would be free then.
That one's free, yeah.
Yeah, so that would be actually really nice as well. Just the defense, man. Something.
Yeah. Or a defense ring and actually start dodging things.
Right. Defense ring. It's one of those spells that's like, you take it in Force Master because you know you should, but you always look at it and you're like, I don't know if I want to cast this.
Right. Is it worth its spellbook point?
Yeah, just because you usually have your mana going towards upkeep and other stuff like that.
Not if you're doing it right.
Powlich's going to pay 4 mana, get the regrowth.
Okay.
Smart move. Just put him down to half damage now.
Regrowth is very important. He's probably unlikely to see a Poison Blood.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Or a Deathlock.
Let's see, how many Dispels do we have here? We have... looks like 2 Dispels and a Disperse for Keejchen. So he needs to start saving that because, if you're going to deal with Force Fields, if you're going to deal with Force Crushes, you're going to need that for something. There is a Mage Wand in Keejchen's book, so I'm curious to see if that ever comes out.
I don't think there's a time when he
could afford it.
Doesn't have a Mage Wand in his book.
It is Keejchen after all. I mean, Mage Wand is a really good spell. It just allows you to do so many things.
He's not taking any damage either, other than direct damage.
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, one little minor heal could clear all that up.
Yeah, interesting. He pulls out Faith Healer Staff. That actually, with a Mage Wand, can be pretty potent. Not just for healing, but for just mitigating everything, especially when you're a priestess. And you can just sort of get rid of condition markers.
Yeah, getting rid of condition markers is so good.
It is. Like, priestess is kind of like a vanilla mage, but like sometimes vanilla is the best flavor, man. Or the longest games ever.
Yeah, well, I blame druids for the longest games ever, actually.
Fair enough. I mean, just like, if you look at the priestess abilities, they're just like, They're so basic. They're just like, all right, I'm just gonna get rid of this thing you did to me, and now I'm gonna cast a spell that makes me gain life. Like, it's surprisingly good. That's all I'll say. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the druid is just. I think the big problem with the druid is just the the symbiosis between the tree and her.
Well, and it stacks with your regen. You know.
Absolutely. So if you go for the tree, it's just like, oh my goodness. It also heals for her. Yeah.
Plenty of things for that Light of Dawn to shoot.
Yeah, personally, I've been a bigger fan of the priest, but I definitely see why a lot of people prefer the priestess. The extra channel, of course, is very nice.
Right.
And the ability just to sort of be immune to a lot of different tactics.
And he's going to pull the Light of Dawn in there.
Okay. So we might see a kill on this Light of Dawn right now. He's going to have to move in right now. Or he might miss his chance to do that Galvatar hit. It's going to have piercing too, so it'll go through the armor of the 2 armor for Light of Dawn.
Yep.
Will we see a bear strength? No, and oh my goodness.
Wow, 7 damage on 4 dice.
That's pretty nice.
That's a big hit.
Every time I run Light of Dawn, I always feel like she just dies really quickly. And
Yep.
I think it's because of stuff like this where it's like, you almost rolled double what you're supposed to. Thanks, Light of Dawn.
She only has 8 health.
Yeah, exactly. I think Light of Dawn is actually a really good creature. It's just she's tricky to use. And Dawnbreaker is going to guard.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good choice.
It is.
What do you think Keejchen should be doing at this point in the game?
I don't think he needs to do anything in particular.
Just kind of move in.
Yeah, just guard his creatures with his own creatures and move in, take care of business.
That's fair.
He needs to. Well, what he should have done is he should have hit something with Malachi's Basilica this turn. He needs to do is he really needs to protect that Light of Dawn. Because the Light of Dawn is what's going to take care of those Thought Spores for him.
Yep, Light of Dawn is going to hit one of the Thought Spores, the Acid Ball one, and it is going to deal a damage and a daze. I totally agree with you on that. Light of Dawn is kind of that archery unit that is really good at dealing with squishy characters like the Thought Spore. I thought it's in its zone. Is it not in its zone?
No.
Wow.
When anything takes a damage or
wow, that's really good.
When it takes a condition from a light attack.
That's so scary, man.
It takes 2 extra damage, yeah.
Well, that's gonna make Keejchen or Powlich immediately want to kill Light of Dawn.
I mean, he should. He shouldn't have passed there. He should have acid balled.
Absolutely. Just a chance to kill her is definitely something I think he should have done.
Cleric heals itself.
For one. Cleric healing himself. That's pretty funny. Yeah, we're seeing the double move on Aaron.
Yep.
Sharkbait joins the game, of course.
I think it's when Sharkbait joined the game that my recording stopped.
Oh, yeah. That's good. That's all good, man. Computer stuff happens. My computer's also a potato.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Mine's like 6 years old, and I think my motherboard is having problems, and you know.
Powlich expressing some discouragement here.
Ooh. He's got the face of someone that is like feeling defeated. Just like, it's almost over.
He'll keep fighting though.
It's like the face when you're making like a ham sandwich. You know, a piece of your ham sandwich falls on the floor, and then your cat eats it, and you're just like, no, I thought that was gonna work.
I don't know why he's keeping the Thought Spore where things can hit it. The Thought Spore has a range 2 spell. It can just run into the corner and use its spell next turn.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there.
But because Keejchen's going to have initiative next turn, that Thought Spore is just going to take a ton of damage.
Yeah, it's probably got to be the bravest Thought Spore I've seen. Just sort of like flying amongst a bunch of stuff, and it's like, I don't care.
Well, what has it done? It has acid balled the temple twice.
Yeah, and it's just kind of saving mana. I don't know why he's so afraid of using acid ball away from the priestess. I think it's because Powlich wants mana.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have mana.
And another
0 damage.
He does get one, but the armor unfortunately just prevents that from doing anything.
Yep, and a crown of protection value.
That's the thing about most holy creatures. They usually have one armor. Like, typically they'll have one, so Stinging Tentacle is just kind of not good. There's a Faith Healer Staff going down. It's a great way just for Keejchen to keep himself from dying. Alright. That was an interesting end to that round.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I think he should be more retreating back. I don't know why he's just bringing all of his Thought Spores up to the front.
I wonder what he's planning to do with them, you know? Because there's nothing this Thought Spore can do from right there that it couldn't also do from the corner.
Agreed. Yeah.
And if it's in the corner,
sting stuff.
If it's in the corner, it doesn't get shot by the light of dawn.
Looks like he's going to use Faith Healer Staff. This is why Faith Healer Staff is so good. He gets one. He pays a mana. He gets one healing. It's a free action. And yeah, he did actually get one. So rock on, dude.
And now Sunfire Amulet and Faith Healer Staff are just counteracting the, and sometimes even working better than the Force Crush right now for far cheaper.
Yeah, that ability just to be like, I have more life now. You have to deal with me now. I dig that a lot. And if I were Powlich, I'm not even sure if I'd want to drop the Force Crush, because that priestess getting suddenly back in the battle is really dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, you really need to kill those creatures.
Yeah, like
I'd love to see an AOE spell or a another sweeping strike or something. Like, and the Light of Dawn is going to get to heal again probably before Powlich can attack it, unless he does something in the quick cast.
Yeah, absolutely. And Powlich is taking his time to prepare cards, and I don't blame that at all, because
I mean, he's only got 8 mana.
Yeah, he's looking at an Aaron there. He's looking at he needs to kill this Light of Dawn. At the same time, he's going to be taking damage from that Messenger of Bim, because it has a light attack, so it's going to deal 3 dice against that Thought Spore.
Yep.
And I think that's enough to kill it, actually.
3 damage, yeah, 3 dice could kill it.
Is he at 5 damage? So that's pretty scary as well.
Although Powlich himself has gone down in damage over the last couple rounds.
Yeah, his mage is actually doing pretty well.
But he needs to kill some stuff before all of his own things die.
Everything's like almost dead, and then he just stops attacking him, and it's like he just like, okay, I'll just heal, you know?
Right.
Because he has a ton of sources of just minor healing, or lesser healing, I should say.
That Temple Sentry isn't doing much, but I mean, it's another body out there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
All right, we're going to deployment phase. Nothing happens here. So first quick cast. I don't think Keejchen's gonna do anything, but Powlich might.
Yeah, Keejchen doesn't need to do anything in the first quick cast.
And what Powlich does here might help to save his Thoughtspore. So
that is always a situation that I like being in, is when I don't feel like I need to quick cast.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's just like, I'll react to you because I've gotten to the point where I'm just ready to do this. Alright, it looks like Powlich's not going to quick cast. We're seeing a 4-dice attack. He only needs 3 damage out of that. And he rolls 7 damage out of that, returning
annihilated. And a stun, which would be 2 more damage.
That was like a Dragon Ball Z, just like charge up attack and just shooting a big beam of energy to kill something.
Oh, Temple of Light.
Temple of Light does go down. Already killed the target for that light +1, so, you know, only going to do its normal damage, but not going to daze and stun out of this. Does get the stun. Is it 1 over? No, yeah, 1 over. So it's just going to be a daze.
But daze is 2 extra damage.
Yep, so that's going to go up to 4. Oh, and no reveal. Interesting on that. But yeah, that extra 2 damage is going to stack. And this is such a cool view for Keejchen here. Man, as a Force Master, this is like... This just feels awful to be as. Because, like, you know, anyone that's played Force Master has probably been in a situation like this where they're just watching everything crumble and there's not much you can do about it.
And now he's just going to use his...
Yeah, so that was a quick cast into a temple. And now he has his actual action here.
No, it was Light of Dawn.
Oh, Light of Dawn,
cast
that's right.
Into temple.
You're right.
Okay,
right,
he's
so
going to try and bash that Cleric, I think.
Yep. So he has 2 armor, so he should deal 1 damage here, and he gets 1 damage through. So, rock on. Did you already take that?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Alright, so... I can just, like, zoom in. By the way, just a shout out to Keejchen. I really appreciate those videos you've been uploading on your YouTube. For anyone that's listening, go check out Keejchen's YouTube. He has some pretty cool ideas out there for how to play Mage Wars, and I really dig your games, man. Mr. Bimshala going in, and he's gonna Radiant Touch it.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
That
4 damage.
Jeez. So rolling double damage of what was expected, just annihilating that Thoughtspore. And at this point in time, Powlich is alone amongst tons of soldiers and clerics and angels and dragons.
Looks like it was a blur on that Thoughtspore.
Oh, blur. You know, we haven't seen that a ton this tournament.
That's the other reason why that Thoughtspore should have been far away from everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Reveal it early is what you do with blur, and then you just stay away.
Alright, well, Powlich is down to just himself, and he's in range of a Temple of Light, a Light of Dawn, and an Aaron.
And it's Keejchen's initiative, so he's going to be able to... oh, no, I'm sorry. It'll be Powlich's initiative.
Yeah. I mean, he really needs to kill some stuff right now.
Okay, so he's going to sweep, so that'll probably kill the Light of Dawn. No,
He's
it'll be
got
one
a-
below. It'll be one below. So he has to roll well, basically. Alright, Spinning Slash on the Initiate. It's going to do 2 damage, just not actually going to kill him. And we'll see the counterattack of 3 dice. Will he dodge it? Waiting. Will he dodge? This is a big moment.
No
He's not going to
dodge.
dodge. But of course that, for some reason, Initiate's like, I'm not going to attack you this time. 0 damage is rolled on the 3 dice. And now the sweeping into the Light of Dawn. So he needs to get 3 damage through. Does 2. So yeah, he got average of what he should have gotten. So feels bad, man.
He didn't kill anything.
Yeah. And that spreading out of damage is exactly what you want to see as a priestess, because you can just sort of pinpoint healing spots. And Charm getting cast on Aaron. Oh, interesting.
It's a free upkeep for not being hit by Aaron. That's
Yeah.
not too bad.
That's not a bad idea. Saying that Aaron's now going to hunt mana crystals, that makes sense. And at this point, honestly, I would probably just trying to take out Powlich's mage. He's just going to sort of sweeping passively kill everything. But he's going to guard instead. I don't really agree with that, but it is what it is.
Sure, he should guard because Force Master has to hit him.
Yeah, I mean, I just see that dealing... so the 2 dice right now versus the sweeping hit to not a counterattack is what I was thinking. So, like, you'd lose that 2 dice versus, like... I guess the sweeping matters, kind of, but I don't know.
Well, if the Force Master hits him, the charm is gone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about the Temple
Sentry?
not Aaron.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, maybe I was a little unclear there. So the Seventh Cleric is just going to keep healing himself. And the pants!
Keejchen putting his first piece of armor on, what, an hour and a half into the game?
Yeah, right. He hasn't really needed it, so whatever.
Yep.
Leather pants is probably one of the most common things you see, just get cast randomly at the end of rounds.
They're good.
So might as well, yeah. Just going up to 1 armor is always a good bet. Alright, we're going to the next round here.
And Powlich hasn't suffered. Even he took a lot of attacks that turn. He didn't really get damaged very much.
Mm-hmm. That is nice for him with that regrowth going down. He's slowly getting better. Faith Their Staff is going to get healed. Let's see what kind of dice it rolls. It rolls 0. It's a little unfortunate there. But sometimes you roll 2, sometimes you roll 0.
In fact, 1/3 of the time you do.
Exactly. So, it's one of those things that I think that's why a lot of people don't like healers, Faith Healers, because if they do roll bad, they're just like, I don't want to take this spell ever again. But, it's a 4 dice attack. Especially if you're like a priest and you're just looking for more dice versus that light damage. It's a nice little spell for 3 mana.
Yeah, 3 mana for a weapon is pretty good.
Yeah. Especially since it has that 4 dice and that passive other thing.
Right.
And the planning begins. mean, if Keejchen can take care of that Force Crush, this game is pretty much over. I don't think he really needs to take care of it to win. I think he can just win anyway. But Powlich saying he hates that teleport cleric. But I mean, I think if Keejchen can somehow figure out how to take care of that Force Crush, he would like for sure win. That being said, it looks like he's planning just some defensive stuff. Maybe. No, he's still deciding.
Powlich doesn't know what he's doing either.
Yeah, Powlich hasn't pulled anything.
He's got some serious thinking to do. He's gonna need a mongoose or something.
Yeah, there's not really good zone attack spells for the Force Master, so like trying to like take care of the 3 almost dead creatures at once is not easy here.
I mean, if he can reveal a mongoose agility and then Battle Fury himself,
okay, that would be interesting.
He could kill 3 creatures this turn.
Yeah.
Of course, one of them is the teleport cleric, which he doesn't want to kill.
Don't want to get Althea in your zone.
Although maybe you should dodge at that point.
Right.
It just boggles my mind that he's not dodged a single thing this game. Like, not even tried.
Yeah, it is a little interesting here. Like, he's taking a ton of damage because of that, too.
Yep.
Like, pretty much all that damage, I think, has come from that, the Althea in the beginning, and then just random Scepter hits from a Cleric.
Yeah, Scepter from the Dawnbreaker's Initiate. That Cleric is doing work.
Just like a D&D Cleric. Casually hitting things, not really caring.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
There's the Mongoose Agility going down, and he is going to still sweep. Okay, so he probably will take out, my guess is Light of Dawn and the Temple Sentry.
Yeah.
And,
that would be the right choice.
He should kill them both. I'd be really surprised if he doesn't. So 4 dice against 3 armor.
Oh, no.
Oh, he doesn't! Oh!
Oh, no.
Well, there's my surprise. So that's going to be 2 dice against him, and he has 1 armor, so, I mean, he should take a damage there. And, let's see what happens here. If he doesn't take anything, that'd be nice. And he doesn't take anything. Alright, rock on.
And now
just a whole lot of
Dawn.
nothing happened in that thing. Alright, 4 dice against 2 armor. He should kill it. Let's see what happens here. He just needs 1 die. Or 1 damage. And he gets, of course, 4 damage through.
Annihilates it.
But that's
that happens to me a lot with Galbatar, actually. I roll piddly damage with one of the attacks and just annihilate something with the other one.
Yeah, you're just like, really? I can't take out a sentry? But, I mean, that does mean that the Force Master is going to be forced to stay there, so Keejchen's going to get that Temple Light hit, which opens up all sorts of new possibilities. He's rolling max on that. He also has Light +1, so he gets an extra die on top of that.
He's only going to roll 1.
He's only gonna, so he rolls 2 die then.
Although I think I would actually roll max on that one because
I see no reason not to.
Yeah, you increase your days chance.
Why did he roll 1 die?
It's got the wrong token on it.
Okay. Yeah, so that's exactly the point that you're just making there. He rolls a 7, which, if he put the extra mana into it, he would have got a stun. Because he rolled an 8.
All right. Well, he's got Light +1 right now.
Exactly. He rolled a 7, so he got an 8. And if he would have just...
It's already an 8.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Because each mana gives it gives it +1 effect.
You're right about that. That is a stun. So that's actually really nice that he got that. Well, dang. Now you have a stunned Force Master there, and 2 guys around him just like looking menacingly.
3. Oh, I guess Aaron can't attack.
Aaron's happy. He's like, everything's good.
And that's 2 extra damage.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, exactly. That is 2 damage. I am so surprised at how much this Dawnbreaker Initiate's doing in this game. Like,
It's
so much damage.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because it's like the one card that messes with Powlich's strategy.
Yeah, right?
Right?
Absolutely. I dig the I dig how the dragon is getting sort of a sync from it too, and allowing it to sort of be like, "Don't kill me. 3 dice."
Yep.
All right, yeah, we're gonna see 2 damage here. We're gonna probably see 1 out of the sentry go through, unless he rolls well or bad. But that sentry just cannot hurt that Force Master. And we're seeing 3 dice here. It should deal 2. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, so 2's gonna go through.
Wow. That Dawnbreaker's Initiate is just killing the mage.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh man, that's so funny to watch, actually. Yeah, I don't blame the Messenger of Bim just being like, I'll just fly in because I don't really care.
Alright, he's going to choose to heal the Priestess this turn.
Interesting.
And then he's going to hand up
I guess that's just a safe bet. Interesting that he also chose the Sentry. I probably would have gone after... Yeah, I guess the Sentry's a better bet, because Powlich has kind of said, like, I don't want to kill him. And we're seeing enchantment go down. And the ring go down, which the ring is actually a promo ring. And it's surprisingly good.
I forget what that ring does.
It basically adds 1 die to your healing rolls.
1 die or 1 point?
I think it's 1 die.
Oh, cool.
It might be just 1. I'd rather use that ring. But yeah, I mean, we're going to see Althea go up to 12 damage here.
Yeah.
Pretty close to dead.
I mean, he's got 7 health left, but there's that healing charm on there, so...
Yeah, so he's really not that afraid. And this is kind of a game that just looks like we're waiting to close out here. I'm curious to see what Powlich can do, but with all that upkeep, I guess...
He's only getting 5 mana a turn.
And he's stunned. That's the big thing about this.
Yeah. He stays stunned in the middle of the Temple of Light range.
Yeah, right? And so it's just one of those things where it's like, do you remove the stun and then risk another stun? Just so you can try to get defense? Like, what do you do here? I think a teleport's probably a really good bet. Just sort of get out of there.
You can force push yourself.
Or force push, yeah. You have it.
I mean, it's insane. The how much every time I play Temple of Light, right? It sucks. It gets no damage. It gets no status effects. Nothing. Every time I see somebody else play Temple of Light,
stun.
It's like it's like a stun fest.
Yeah, it's what, a 2 out of a D12 roll, no matter what.
Yeah, it's a 1/6 chance.
Yeah, he's gotten 2 stuns this whole game, so that's actually pretty nice.
I think I saw who was it? I can't remember who it was, but it was some necromancer had decided to put Temple of Light in their book.
I think that was Keejchen.
What?
I think that was
that
Keejchen?
Keejchen?
Yeah, because he runs a Necker that's like Gorgon Archer, Temple of Light, and he does some crazy stuff. He used to run Ballista, I think, in it.
Until it was nerfed.
Yeah, until it was like released officially.
Yeah, no, but like
when we all agreed it should have been nerfed.
I was like, "What? You have Temple of Light in your book?" And then all of a sudden, it was like stun.
He's just laying on the stones. What? It's so ridiculous. Hey, man, Althea in a Necromancer book might be the new thing.
Why?
Why not?
Well, your acolytes could make Althea
Yeah.
active, but you would get nothing from her trait, from her
Temple of
ability.
Light.
By the time you've put Althea and Temple of Light in your book, you have paid 30 spellbook points for those 2 cards.
Yeah, right. Better be your strategy. It's like...
I suppose, can you animate Dead or Rise Again, Althea?
Yeah, you can. Because it's just legendary. You can totally do it and pay half cost. If they kill it. I mean, you could totally make a book with Althea and the clerics, and then like have them choose between fighting the dragon or taking down that. What is that one conjuration that's like?
Oh, the Altar of Skulls.
Yeah, Altar of Skulls. It'd just be like pray to everything, clerics.
Start hard casting clerics from turn 1.
Mage 1, animate Dead. Just bring the clerics back when they kill them and be like, keep praying, even in death. Is Scimitar unaffected by Day's stun? Yeah, that is right, it is, because it is autonomous. So it's Force Sword and Force Sword, which would be nice right here.
And everything was in school for the Force Master.
Yeah, I actually like Force Sword a lot. Force Orb especially. I just... Finding the spell points is always the hard part, and it's not even that expensive. It's just actually playing it that's the annoying part.
Right. I mean, if you end up dodging an attack or two with it, it's worth it. But
I mean, with defense ring and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I think you have a 50% chance, which is nice.
So he chose his full action as a dancing scimitar.
Get rid of the stun, and now he's gonna quick.
His quick cast is a.
He's gonna sleep it. That is awesome.
So if it takes any damage, it's gonna.
But an enemy creature doesn't kill it.
Right.
So that's neat. I mean, Keejchen can remove it with the Priestess ability. But
right, but the Priestess is not within range.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to see some sort of reaction out of Keejchen then. Sleeping. I've always found that status effect weird in games. Like they're just like literally just lying there, just like, blah.
It's magically induced sleep. It's like, what is it? What is it? Who's the guy that supposedly fell asleep for 20 years in the mountains? Was it Rip Van Winkle or something?
Oh yeah, I think you're right. It's like magical sleep. And there's the mage one going down. Probably going to be Dispel. Or Disperse. Interesting Disperse. Huh.
It's not like he needs to go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I would think he'd want to move too to get rid of it on Althea, but maybe he doesn't care. Powlich had Arcane warded it. The spell's cancelled, so you, no. Okay, so Keejchen's asking when you do that, does the spell go back to the hand? It doesn't, because it's bound
to the wand.
And specifically it says in the supplement that you do not. But it's a good question.
So Keejchen casts Mage Wand and then disperses the Force Crush, but the Arcane Ward stops the disperse and refunds the mana.
Yep. Which, I mean, that extra round... Honestly, I think this game's already over. So... But, like, you know, the extra round is nice for Powlich.
Alright, he's gonna pump up the volume here.
Alright, we have 1 armor. He can defend against it, but it looks like he's going to choose not to.
Why? Oh, he doesn't have mana this time.
Yeah, so it looks like he's going to roll 5 damage total. Rolling 6 total, but getting 5 through. No Dazer Stun. Very close to that stun. But, yeah, so that's unfortunate. Doesn't get that extra.
It should have been a stun.
3 plus 1.
3 plus 4.
Plus
3 plus 4 plus 1 is 8, right?
He rolled a 3, and he has...
He has light plus 1.
Yeah. So
And
like
he
a 4.
paid 4 dice. He rolled
So
4
that
dice,
brings
which
it
is
down
plus
to
4.
5? Because it's a 9 down to 5, is that right?
What? So the 3 becomes a 7, and then it
Yeah.
becomes an 8 with light plus 1.
No, we're already counting that one, right? Because of 3 plus 1.
He rolled a 3. He gets light plus 1, which
So
makes it a
4.
4, and he added 4. Like he. Oh no, he played plus 3. Never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
okay.
he's 1 off. We don't have to fix the calculator. Woo! And, yeah, it looks like Aaron's going to walk away. He got charmed.
Yep. Move and guard.
How charming that Force Master is. All my friends just kill her. Like, I've always found charm just such a weird spell.
It's like straight out of D&D though.
Yeah, it totally is. Alright, and yeah, Keejchen's just gonna passively heal again. And there's the 2. Makes up for the 1. And he's up to 39 life. Man, this game is so over. Like, it's not even funny, man. I just don't see what Powlich can do to make it a comeback.
Yeah, he needed to kill some creatures faster. He got stunned when he shouldn't.
Oh, that was
I mean,
so
he got what, 2 stuns this game?
Yeah. And his
2
thought
stuns
force
this
just
game.
kind of got annihilated.
His thought spores were reckless,
Mm-hmm.
and his double strikes and his sweeping strikes didn't do enough damage. You know?
Unfortunately, yeah. Yeah, I think this is one of those games that it's like, that sort of like pick your target and finish it off. Like, make sure you do, because so many of these guys have almost been dead, and they just make it come back.
I mean, the only thing he's killed is a Light of Dawn, right?
Light of Dawn and the, yeah, no, that's it. Everything else is out. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing, like, sometimes it is worth it just to spend that extra mana to get that force push into a wall bash or that acid ball, just because, like, if you kill it, then that's less damage.
I mean, you can always double strike next turn instead of casting a spell.
I mean, there may not have been, like, the most opportune time to cast acid ball, but, yeah, it's kind of brutal in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you just gotta put away one of your enchantments and just be like...
But here's the thing. If we go all the way back to the beginning of the game, if he had spent the acid ball on the temple
interesting.
and killed it, the temple sentry would not have been there, and he would have been able to kill the Dawnbreaker's initiate and teleport the dragon or the priestess over there, and they'd still be 3 away from each other.
That's an interesting point.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's... Like, getting that extra creature out has allowed a ton of guards and basically things to survive. Which, go Temple Sentry, that's totally what he was made to do. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, sometimes you just gotta spend that little bit of extra mana, even if it seems inefficient. And the blur gets revealed.
And he doesn't want to get hit by that temple.
Yeah, that's a smart move. It might cost him a ton of mana.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, a blur is not very helpful.
Yeah.
Although, I suppose if he can't sweeping strike the angel.
He'd have to sweep the Temple Sentry and the Dawnbreaker. He'd probably kill them both, but then he has Althea. Yeah. Or the priestess.
I think moving and guarding at this point is the right choice.
Just get out of that area.
Yeah, I mean, the initiate can't hit him because it's sleeping. If he gets out of there, he can...
Initiate is sleeping. Huh.
And he doesn't even need to cast the blur this turn, I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh well. Unless he plans to do a bunch of passing, which... I don't know.
And then he may not have the I guess he'll always have the mana to pay for it.
Because if he moves and guards, sure, the Temple Sentry will come in and get killed, and then the Messenger will come in and do an attack. But next turn,
move.
Because he's got Mongoose Agility, that makes sense.
So he doesn't want to take any damage to spend the mana.
Sure. So he spends 2 mana now to not be hit by a Temple of Light.
Yeah, I mean, Keejchen has a ton of creatures still in his book, so...
4.
Yeah, they're all pretty high level, too, but...
well,
I guess not high level, but, you know... And there's the Disperse going down on the Charm. It's going to cost him 2 mana, I think. And it'll
3.
refund 2.
No, it won't. It's just costs less.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So the Charm goes away.
And Aaron looks aggressive. Yeah, Aaron might close this whole deal.
And it depends on how long the what am I talking about? Depends on how long Powlich can run away.
So that Sentry's back at full health.
And all those sweeping strikes that failed to kill him, just done.
And we're going to see some enchantment go down in the Temple Sentry. That could be probably something defensive, is my guess. I didn't actually see what it was, but...
it's Eye for an Eye.
Oh, is it Eye for 9? That's a good choice. Just, like, basically whatever damage Powlich or Keejchen can get makes sense. And Eye for an Eye is a great spell for that.
Yep.
Man, Keejchen's just sitting there just like, alright, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Alright, come on. You know?
Well, at this point, he can afford to... Like, he's not even remotely afraid about his Mage Wand.
No,
you know?
He really isn't. Like, it's like, come on, come dissolve it. I dare you, you know?
Right. I mean, you'll be in range of my Temple. Yep. You'll be in range of my Priestess. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You go and die.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, you know, he lasted... He waited and waited and waited. And then he's got complete control of this game right now.
I think this is a very classic Keejchen style in this whole game here, and I actually really do respect the strategy a lot. You know, he had some shaky parts, but you know he got through it, and I think we're seeing the power of it in the late game.
Well, it's a little bit compounded though, because there were some dice rolls that went against Powlich. You know,
I'd agree with that.
And there are some better decisions Powlich could have made. So I don't think Keejchen has made any mistakes this game.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I definitely think that in general, like, we saw that nobody really had a big advantage, probably until that point that the Thought Wars were just dying. You know, then it just like really swung in Keejchen's favor.
Yeah, and the problem was that Powlich couldn't bring enough dice to bear to make it swing in his favor instead of in Keejchen's favor.
Yeah, exactly. There's an interesting trade-off there. Alright, and looks like all the Force Crushes are paid. I think.
Yeah, he's only got 7 mana left.
Powlich is at 22 out of 32 damage. And Keejchen's at 14 out of 40. This or next round is probably going to be the last round. I don't see this taking too much longer. I mean, unless Powlich just like runs around the whole field. Which I'm not sure what's in Powlich's book, to be fair, so he might have some sort of card up his sleeve.
There's not a whole lot of places he can run.
But yeah, I agree with you on that.
Like, I mean, he can run down to the corner.
Yeah, I mean, with Mongoose, it's going to be one of those, like, alright, let's just do the chase, you know?
Spread out. We'll hit you with something eventually.
Keep getting more creatures, yeah.
What he does need to do is he needs to be able to kill creatures while he's running away and healing.
That's ideal. Yeah, like he's like, okay, now
So,
you gotta
I mean,
spread out to hit me so I can pick this guy off. That sort of thing.
right. Like this is the point at which having a force field is useful.
Oh, that is interesting, yeah. And the divine intervention's there. I dig that. That's really cool. So he could basically divine intervention Aaron and be like, now I'm here.
Yeah.
Or just move in and hit him. You know, that's fine.
He's going to try and deflect, probably.
Yeah, that would be a smart choice here. That's kind of what you have the scimitar for, or your main dodge. Sword of the Last Watch. And it fails! Oh no! But Aaron does roll 6 dice. He rolls 4 damage, 3 of that going through. Putting Powlich at 25 out of 32.
And does he get rid of Blur, or does he pay a mana for Blur?
Pay a mana. Alright.
Alright.
That was a smart choice.
Well, yeah, otherwise he would have been stunned there.
Yeah, he might have literally died right here with that extra 2 main damage.
Now he needs to get out of dodge. If I were Powlich at this point, I would move 1 and guard.
Now, could he actually not have been targeted by that light +1?
That is true.
Do you have to retarget? Is that it?
Yes,
or is it
happens every round.
Ah, okay, so he doesn't actually have that right now. But I don't know if
he
it's
should not have the light +1. That is a mistake that the judge did not catch.
That's okay.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're all good. I don't think it really determined the outcome of the game.
Right, but still.
Alright, so it looks like this angel's basically saying, you're going to move 2 every round, otherwise you're going to regret it.
Movement guard. He's going to cast Divine Intervention on himself.
I think he wants to free up Althea. Oh, so he's going to... Oh, no! Oh, this could be game right here. Oh, oh no. So he's going to disperse... Yeah, is he going to disperse the Force Hold? And then he's going to pray to Althea? And then Althea's going to kill him? Is that what is about to happen here? Oh, man.
It looks like what's about to happen.
If he gets the kill with Althea, I will be the happiest person. So yeah, he pays 5 mana. And it's pretty much all in the court of Keejchen here. So he's
Wait, Althea has what, 18 damage on it, or 16 damage on it?
16, yeah.
Althea's nearly dead too.
There is a healing charm?
That's true.
So this should be rolling 5, I don't think it's a big deal, as I said. And he just needs to get the Dazer Stun on top of that, and he should actually have the kill here. Because with the 1 armor... Oh, and he rolls, of course, 10 damage out of 6 dice. Plus the daze, it's an additional 2, and that is to a game.
Death by Dragon.
Dragon just kind of like, I'm released. Blah. And I would love to see like dragon whelps and like little dragon stuff in this game. It would be pretty fun.
Sweet.
But that was a good
So
game.
that was the semifinals. Powlich lost to Jack Smack, I think, at the very beginning of the elimination stage, and clawed his way up through the losers bracket, all the way up to fight Keejchen, who actually just lost to Jack Smack.
So we're seeing the rematch of the year.
Yeah. Either way, it would have been a rematch, but this time it's Keejchen versus Jack Smack in the finals. And how does that work? If Keejchen beats Jack Smack, he doesn't just win, right? Because Jack Smack has to be beaten twice.
According to the brackets, he just wins. The last game, you don't have an elimination round.
Okay.
You just win, just straight up. So this is the championship match next, and that's actually going to be a really fun game to watch.
Sweet. All right. Well, hope you guys enjoy that.
Yeah. I just wanted to give a big congratulations to both Powlich and Keejchen for making it this far. That was a great game to watch. I really enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing Powlich again in future tournaments.
Yeah, he made it almost all the way to the end last time too, right?
Yep. Yeah, he's consistently a very strong player.
That is a good deal.
So, anyway, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.